Hey guys, and welcome to today's project of making Pâte Praliné Amande, or a not so fancy name, Almond Praline Paste. The list of ingredients is in the description. Let's begin. You will need some nuts, 400 grams worth of nuts. Take a large pot and fill it with water. Place it on the stove and turn the heat on to medium to high. We want the water to boil. Once the water has come to a boil, pour the nuts in. Let that boil for at least 30 seconds. We are blanching the nuts. Only set the timer when the water comes to a rapid boil again. Once the timer goes, pour the nuts over in a colander in the sink. Wash your nuts with cold water to stop the cooking process and to cool your nuts. Now, we're going to de-skin the nuts, or you can buy already skinned nuts. Once you have done this to your nuts, place them on a tray with some kitchen papers. We want to dry them off. Make sure they are rather dry. Place them in your oven set at 160 degrees for 15 minutes first. After 15 minutes, give them a mix. Add more time if you have to. We want them to come out looking toasted. Now is the important part. Once you are happy with the color of your nuts, turn off your oven, but place them back in the oven to remain warm. This is important. Next, using the same large pot, place 100 grams of water in and 300 grams of caster sugar. Place the pot back on the stove and turn the heat on to medium to high. We want the mixture to boil. From time to time, brush the sides of the pot with some water. This will help in not crystallizing the sugar. Once you start to see some color, take a reading of the temperature. We want the temperature to reach 165 degrees Celsius, which is caramel stage. Once it reaches 165 degrees Celsius, take your warm nuts out of the oven and pour them in the pot. Turn off the heat. Take the pot off to one side and continue stirring the nuts. Because your nuts are warm, it wouldn't seize the caramel due to the change in temperature. If your nuts were cold, it would cause the sugar to harden. Don't forget, as the caramel is still hot, it is technically still cooking. Now pour the caramel and nuts on a baking tray with baking paper. Spread them out evenly. Don't worry about some nuts taking some color. You can leave it overnight to cool. That is what I did. But make sure to cover it for two reasons. One, to avoid moisture, and two, to stop yourself from eating it, as it is so irresistible. Well, as you can see, I couldn't resist and had some with some ice cream. That was so good. Now, on to transforming it into praline paste. This next step you don't have to do, but I don't want to ruin the blades in my food processor. I'm just using a pestle and mortar to break up the large pieces. Any kind of assistance in breaking up the pieces would help my machine. You can also use a rolling pin. If you want to take the time to go smaller, then go ahead. Take your food processor with the blade attachment and pour all of it in. Start blending. It will be noisy, but it is worth it later on. It will be a while before it gets there, but once it starts to get there, it goes very fast. Check every couple of minutes to release any of the mix that has built up on the sides. It is starting to become paste-like. You can stop there for the texture, or you can go even more. Just keep blending it. It will get looser and creamy. What I did next was transfer it to my blender to really make it fine. That just looks mighty sexy already. Now, just to be safe and to really make it extra smooth, I have a large bowl with a fine strainer. Pour the mixture in and start scraping. It will only take a couple of minutes. It was pretty smooth already. This was just a precaution for texture. Don't forget to scrape the underside. Talk about super smooth and such a sexy golden brown color. Very rich. Let's just have a taste. It's so good. Just creamy, full of flavor and depth. It has character. You can spread it on your toast, mix it with some chocolate, or even have it with some whipping cream to create a mousse. The choice is up to you. Also, such a great pour consistency. You can even pour this over some vanilla ice cream. Well, there you have it, Pâte Praliné Amande, or Almond Praline Paste. Thank you for watching. As usual, it was a pleasure having you with us on this journey today. If you enjoyed what you watch, please leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe to be notified of upcoming videos, and we shall see you in the next one. Bye for now.